So today we're in the city of San Bernardino, in the county of San Bernardino, California. I'm absolutely shocked with what I've already seen. It's Tuesday, March 1st, 2022. So much happening, ladies and gentlemen. As I make this video, Dow Jones is down over 600 points. Oil is going through the roof. Gold, silver, cryptos. Absolutely amazing events taking place throughout the world. We've got a lot to talk about in this video. Also, this is probably going to show some of the most disturbing economic carnage I have seen up until this point. Yesterday, Sid and I went to the city of San Bernardino. I was shocked, horrified with the amount of economic devastation that has taken place in that city. I will show you that trip yesterday in San Bernardino, what we saw. That will be further down in this video, so stay tuned. Don't stop watching. You're going to see more proof, more evidence of a collapsing economy. So stay tuned. That will be in this video. And again, it's the worst economic carnage I have seen up to this point. But this is what you get when you see a city like San Bernardino, when you are flooding the economy with cash, when you're losing jobs, you hold interest rates at 0%, the loss of disposable income. Also, this city went bankrupt years ago after the housing crash, and this is more carnage of what happened in the last financial crisis. And we're going to see another financial crisis. And the question is, if things look this bad right now, what are they going to look like after this next collapse? So very, very shocking. So please stay tuned and watch that. Let's talk today also about these cyber attacks. They're now warning us, as I was watching the news earlier, that U.S. banks could be under assault for cyber attacks. Is your money safe? Should you have all your money in a bank right now? So questions you need to be asking yourself. 10-year bond yield. I saw earlier today at 1.69. I think it's back up to about 1.71. Absolutely shocking. And as I said earlier, gold way up, silver way up, cryptos way up. Oil broke $106 today. I think it's hovering about $105 a barrel. First time that it's topped $104 since 2014. And before we move on and I show you the video we shot yesterday, a couple quick things, a couple quick articles I want to go over very, very quickly with you. Wall Street Journal, CITIGROUP has nearly $10 billion in total Russian exposure. Yes, US banks have exposure to Russia. Remember, the banking system is connected globally. And if a big bank goes down in Europe or in Asia, we are going to feel the consequences. We will feel the ramifications. Just like if a big bank blows up here in America, Europe, Asia, the world is going to feel it. Everything is connected. And are investors really as safe as they think they are when banks and hedge funds and pensions have exposures or exposure to very, very dangerous investments, such as being exposed to Russia? So again, so many people don't realize that their hedge funds and their 401ks and their pensions are invested in, say, these real estate development companies in Asia. They have exposure to Russia, maybe Russian banks, Russian development companies, Russian oil companies, what have you. All of this is connected, ladies and gentlemen. And if things really start escalating, people are going to feel it here. Jamie Dimon warns swift sanctions may bring unintended consequences. And I think he's 100% right here. Overuse of these powers could compel Russia and other actors to try and replace the dollar, which Russia's already been trying to do. countries are now trying to do transactions without using dollars. That has already begun, and you're going to see it accelerate. The hedge today, breadbasket of the world, choked off by Russian invasion as wheat prices soar. Ukraine, this is an amazing fact. Ukraine can feed 600 million people. Think about that. The breadbasket of Europe. I was not even aware of how much corn, how much wheat they produce. They're in the top 3 with wheat and corn production. And now that this is going to be cut off, you're going to see prices continue to rise. And let's not forget fertilizer prices soaring, fuel prices soaring, transportation costs soaring. All this is going to show up at the grocery store, all this showing up at restaurants. Another article today on Reuters, $10 toothpaste, U.S. household good makers face blowback on price hike. Colgate expects margins to widen this year due in part to higher prices. So their whitening toothpaste is going to go up to $10. Colgate also bought back almost 50% more shares last year, a boon for investors. So who cares about the consumer? It's all about the investor. It's all about making money. It's all about the bottom line. And here they are buying back their own shares to bump up the price of their stock. Companies, many, are not going to pass on any savings to you. It's all about the bottom line. It's all about the investors. It's all about the stock price. Another article today, and this should concern all of us. Toyota halts Japan production after supplier hit by cyber attack. Is your money safe in a bank? And how long until we see a major U.S. bank hit by a cyber attack? This could turn things upside down. And the last article I have before we get into the San Bernardino video, coming from CNBC, the average mortgage holder has a record $185,000 in equity. So people are feeling rich. How many people took money out of their homes, used their homes as an ATM so they could go buy a new overpriced car this year or last year, an overpriced RV, a boat, a sand rail, a vacation, more crypto? People have borrowed so much of this money out of their homes. They feel rich. They feel wealthy because the price of their home went up. And why did it go up? It was all artificial. 0% interest rates, Fed rate, 2.8, 2.9, 3% 30-year mortgages. All this stimulus that was injected into the economy, the trillions of dollars that were injected into the economy, and the Fed propping everything up and creating a massive real estate bubble. And this has caused people to feel very, very rich when in return, it's all fake. It's all an illusion and it's all going to crash. And people who think they're rich because the price of their home went up, they're going to learn a very costly lesson here, because as fast as it went up, it's going to come down much, much faster. But again, when you have a Fed fund rate at near zero, when you had mortgage rates below 3%, when you had all this free money floating out there and all this manipulation taking place in these markets, and the television telling you to keep buying and buying and buying, things are just going to go up forever. This has created massive bubbles. And just because the price of your home went up doesn't mean you're rich. And people are pulling money out of these homes. This is what they've been doing the last year, using their homes as an ATM. And they're going to be so upside down when this market turns. Anyways, I'm going to leave it there today. Stay tuned. This is really captivating stuff that I'm going to show you that is taking place in this economy. And again, this is what happens when you have massive money printing, QE, bubbles, loss of jobs, loss of disposable income. This is what a collapse looks like, ladies and gentlemen. People ask me, when's it going to happen? Take a look at San Bernardino. It happened back in 2008. It never recovered, and it's getting worse and worse and worse. And it's coming to a town near you. Take a good look around. It's almost like we're on another planet or an atomic bomb went off. It's a complete ghost town here as we are in the city of San Bernardino. I have never seen so much economic damage in my life, from strip centers completely closed down to shopping malls like the one behind me right here, completely shut down.
You know, while the Amazons thrive and doing big business and making record billions of profit, you see a mall like the Carousel Mall shut down completely.
So pardon the wind today. We're in San Bernardino. I think it's always windy out here, but we're going to do the best that we can. But ladies and gentlemen, this is unbelievable. I mean, look at the, I'm going to turn around here. Look at the store behind me. This thing's huge.
It used to be a Harris Gottschalk's that was here, I would say in the early 2000s, and the whole place here is shut down now. Unbelievable.
Sid's been reminding me daily, we got to get out to San Bernardino. We got to get out to San Bernardino. It's really, really bad. And so stay tuned through this video. Now, 30% of this city lives below the poverty line. And this city went bankrupt after the 2008 collapse, never ever rebounded. I've never been through this city in depth, but today we're going to go through it a bit. And stay tuned, check it out, because driving through here, there was so much economic carnage that's taken place affecting the small mom and pop businesses, the small business owners, the restaurants, and the shopping malls. Where are all these people going to go work at now? This thing's been closed obviously for years. Just to remind all of you that there really never was an economic recovery. We just had a recovery of paper money covering up all the economic damage. It didn't go away, and it's getting worse. Now what is going to happen, as we're going to see global problems take place because of what's happening in Eastern Europe, because of massive inflation. When these places were shutting down, we didn't have inflation like the inflation we're having now. So stay tuned. Let's see what's happening in San Bernardino. Thanks to Sid coming out today. He's going to show us around, and it does not look pretty. So in the same parking lot, there's an old Montgomery Ward's. You guys remember Montgomery Ward's? There's an old Montgomery Ward's auto center right here. Check this out. What a blast from the past. Unfortunately, this whole thing, I mean, look at the sizes, ladies and gentlemen. Take a look at the sizes. Anybody telling you that things are getting better? Look, this thing's been closed for years. For years. Big building. And you got to think, if the economy was doing so well, why is this thing been sitting closed for over a decade? Who knows how long? 15 years, maybe 10 years. I don't know how long this thing's been closed down, but nobody is coming in and buying these buildings. Who owns these buildings? I mean, take a look. There's the mall over there. There's the giant empty parking lot where thousands of cars used to park. And here's the automotive center. Wow. What a tragedy. I have no idea what this was. If you do, please comment down below. It's right across from the San Bernardino Mall here, the Carousel Mall. Big building. Gone. And just to remind all of you, this didn't just close in the last year or two. These buildings have been closed for many years. Look across the street. We'll head over there later. But look at that. That entire shopping center, virtually empty, vacant.
Guys, so, you know, when the Carousel Mall closed, you know, the people, they lost jobs. You know, they can't support their families. What are they doing now for work? You know, the economic impact that this mall being shut down has caused. The city no longer gets any type of revenue from a place like this in order to pay for its city employees, etc. You know, this is a big, big loss to a city like San Bernardino, you know, and it's going to get way much worse. And what you've seen with this economic impact going on, more and more people are going to be in poverty.
Don't think for a minute that this can't happen where you live, that it can't happen where you live in Indiana or Michigan or Iowa or Illinois or Texas. It can happen, and it's beginning to happen more and more. Again, this is just the evidence of what happens when a city goes bankrupt, the evidence of a failing, rotting economy that we're being told is recovering, and it's not. This is having major economic impacts on people throughout this city and in the state, and it's never going to come back. It's going to get much worse, ladies and gentlemen. Think about what's happening right now, what you're seeing happening globally, what you're seeing happening with inflation, the talk of interest rates rising, the massive debt. When all this was closing, we actually had interest rates. We actually had a lot less debt. We had better employment. We had much less inflation. All of it off the meter now. And you're going to see malls in your area turn up just like this. Many of you already have. But I'll tell you, San Bernardino is a huge county too. How are they paying for police, fire, city employees? Take a look around. This place is rotting, just like the United States economy. So we're down at the lower level of this mall, and you can see a lot of people have been living here, defecating, leaving trash everywhere, and it's unbelievable. And this is what happens when cities begin to run out of money, have large deficits, a lot of debt, the economy turns. See, you know, stores that were once here that, you know, people said would never close. Oh, the mall will never close. This store could never go out of business. They're too big. Take a look at this. This is literally like I've landed up on another planet at this point. I don't even know where I'm at. This, to me, doesn't even feel like California. And everything is just crumbling. Just crumbling. Really, really sad. Really, really sad.
For you.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you.
You're very welcome.
Old loading ramp here.
You know, so we're so interested in economic disaster and environmental disaster, but you take a look around a place like this, it looks like a dump.
Yeah, where's all that California money going? It's certainly not going into cleaning up our environment.
What good is a stimulus if you got a bunch of trash everywhere? You know, it's not helping anyone.
Yeah, it's state bailouts. What billions of dollars that California got, and I haven't seen them clean up anything. Everything is closed. Every one of these stores is gone. This is across the street from the mall. Oh, look at this, all busted up.
Wow. This is good now.
Yeah.
Big grocery store, all closed.
Gone.
50,000 square feet.
Jeez. I got freestyle. Look at this. Looks like a dental office. Gone. It's one of those dentists. Gone. I think one store out of the whole strip center here is open. Just gone. Wow. Taco shop gone. Black Gold Capital Group gone. Teriyaki Hawaiian barbecue gone and boarded up, ladies and gentlemen. This is so sad.
Because of the economic disaster we're in, you know, you see places like these mom and pop shops shutting down, and these corporations making billions of dollars while mom and pop have shut down, you know, and it's going to get worse. It's going to come to a city and town.
Why do you think we're seeing everything shut down, Sid?
Well, because of people not being able to afford during these times. They can't afford to take their families out because of this high inflation that we're seeing, astronomical prices in oil, gas, you know,
Which means food prices go up.
everything's going up. You're going to pay more out
What
of your
about the
pocket.
dollar? What's your dollar doing?
You know, your dollar's buying a lot less, and you're going to take home a lot less.
So Sid's 100% right. And when you take home less money, you have less disposable income, right? And that means that we're not going out to eat as much as we used to. We're not spending as much when we go out to eat. Now we're going to the grocery store. We're cooking at home a lot more, and we're cutting out things. People are cutting out meat and eating more chicken. People are cutting out seafood, eating more chicken, more rice, more beans, more pasta. People are now having to cut things out because they don't have disposable income because of the higher prices, the inflation, and you haven't seen anything yet. So I believe this was a grocery store at one time, gone. I mean, ladies and gentlemen, this is out of a movie. It's unbelievable what can happen to a city like San Bernardino. And this is a pretty large city, and it's in one of the biggest counties. San Bernardino County is one of the biggest counties in America. And let's not forget, we're in the state of California, the 5th, 6th biggest economy on planet Earth. And this is what we're dealing with here, folks. One store after another. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 stores I can count right there.
Someone
Gone.
just busted this window out.
Look at this.
Yeah, it looks like they need some good security around here.
So if you're a business owner, you want to open up a business, here. We've seen one cop all day that we've been out here, and they just drove away. You're on your own on a place like this. Again, resources like fire and police, limited now, because when you lose malls, when you lose businesses, they don't have the tax revenue to support as many police and fire as they would like. And so you put your business in here, this is what happens. Sid?
Exactly, you know, not enough cops around, and more places like this that are abandoned are going to get broken into.
Yeah.
And, you know, they're going to have to pay for a lot of damages, and they might even have to be forced to get active security in the area.
And who's they?
You know, the business owners,
There are no business.
the people that own the land.
Yeah, whoever owns this building, some landlord, maybe it's an investment company, maybe your hedge fund is invested in it. Maybe your pension is invested in some of this commercial real estate. See, this is the scary thing. All these commercial mortgage-backed securities that have been sold onto the market, and nobody's in these buildings. Nobody's leasing or renting this commercial real estate. So something is going to give, ladies and gentlemen, and we can talk all day about what's happening in Eastern Europe. But ladies and gentlemen, we better start getting very, very, very concerned about what's happening right here, because we got serious trouble that is not going away. And I know there's people out there that believe the economy is doing great, nothing to worry about, keep buying the dip. God bless you. I hope you come back to planet Earth. This is the real world, ladies and gentlemen. This is the real world. And this is what we see.